Hey everybody, welcome to the Mariah Effect podcast. I'm Mariah, and this is part 2 of our answering questions episode or getting to know us episode. I am recording this way after the fact of us recording together. And just wanted to pop in and let you guys know that I am so incredibly thankful for everybody that's been listening to the podcast and sending in their stories. I really feel like I've been connecting, and some of it is to people that I've never even met. And I think that that's one of the most incredible things about the internet. So I'm just so incredibly grateful. And I also wanted to let anybody listening who might be a part of the Patreon know that I have not been posting on things on the Patreon. I've been really behind on that, and I apologize for that. I've just been not feeling very good lately, but hopefully, crossing our fingers that this feeling not great is going to be a stepping stone towards feeling amazing. And great news. So, again, I apologize for not having some content on there, but for anybody who has paid for this past month, there's going to be so many things this upcoming month to try and make up for it. And yeah, I just am so grateful and so excited for you guys to listen to the rest of this recording. Anyway, welcome to the Mariah Effect. Okay, back to our questions. Are you good at remembering birthdays?
Absolutely not. I have a few. I know my sisters.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it. I know
Wow.
mine. I know mine.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Yep.
That's something.
Yeah. But otherwise, if it's not in my calendar, I don't remember. So how about you?
So, growing up, my mom was kind of the person, because she's the oldest of 5. She was kind of the person that kept track of when everybody's birthday was so that she could call them on their birthday or plan a birthday party, or, she was that person, right? So because my mom was that person, she had literally this book, which she probably still has, that she made because she used to do card crafting and things like that. And so she made this little flip calendar that had the numbered days, not by Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever. It just had the numbers, and it had the month, and then it would have on each day whose birthday was in that month. So no matter if the 4th was on a Tuesday or whatever, she would remember, okay, that's this person's birthday. And so then she'd have it there, and then she'd fill it in on the calendar by the garage door in the kitchen, and she'd fill it out on there too, so she could be like, okay, this person's birthday is on the 10th. I'm going to write that on Saturday the 10th so that I remember that's when it is. So my mom was very organized with birthdays when it came to that. So I know every single one of my cousins' birthdays, which were very much like siblings to me. And it's burned in my head, burned into my cerebellum. And when I meet other people and I find out their birthdays, it sticks in my head too. The issue I have is remembering what the day of today is. And that's why I forget birthdays. Not because I forgot when your birthday is, but because I forgot that July 5th was today.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's why I forget birthdays. It's just that reason. But I know that July 1st was my cousin Olivia's birthday. I remember that March 10th is her brother Gabe's birthday. Like, I could go through everybody's birthday in my entire family. Like, immediate family.
It's impressive.
I don't remember your birthday. I think is it the same as great grandma Kavner's birthday?
Nope.
No.
Mine is December 29th.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my mom did not write your birthday down. You should call her for that.
Mine
call
was
her
always
out for that.
Mine was always like hidden between the Christmas New Year sandwich. Yeah.
Mine was right before Christmas.
What's yours again? 22nd, 12/22. Love that. So you're Capricorn too?
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Well, I'm on like the cusp.
Yeah.
I'm like Sagittarius, Capricorn.
You're a little more interesting.
I'm a little more Sagittarius, yeah. Capricorn makes total sense for you.
Just a stubborn goat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So birthdays, like, once I know it, like now, I don't think I'll ever forget your birthday now.
Yeah, you won't.
I won't. But December 30th is going to come around, and I'm going to be like talking to you normal, and you're going to be like, yeah, it's the 30th. And I'll be like, oh my gosh, it's your birthday.
Yep. Well, yesterday.
Which doesn't mean that I forgot your birthday. I forgot the day.
Yeah, totally. I'm down with that.
Okay. Were there other names that were considered when naming you?
Just one other name, Gregory. Yeah, and I'm so glad I didn't get that name because,
so glad you didn't get named that either.
Because, like, especially after Succession came out, and there was like Greg, and the way that they played that up, I don't want to be cousin Greg. I don't want to be Gregory. Yeah. Although plus, I'm
Greg
a huge,
is such a weird. That's such a weird nickname.
It's a weird name, but yeah, Nicholas Braun is an amazing actor, but other than that, yeah, I don't want to be cousin Greg. What about you?
I don't know if there were other like girl names considered. My mom has only ever told me, because she didn't know what I was, if I was a boy or girl until I was born, because she wanted to be surprised. But I remember her telling me that if I was going to be a boy, that she was going to name me Jacob Ross. And then she was going to call me Junior, JR. No, I would have been fine with the name Jacob. I feel like Jacob is a good name. Cool name. But Ross?
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Worst character of Friends.
That's funny. That's funny.
But yeah, she's only ever told me that. And she said that she was pretty sure about if I was a girl that I was going to be named Mariah. So I don't think there were really any other contenders for other names. Because she just loved Mariah Carey so much. Have you ever been in a fist fight?
Well, when I was 12, I decided it was a good idea to pop off to a guy who was like 17 years old, and he knocked me out with one punch.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think you could call that a fist fight, but
that was a challenge and accepted.
Yeah. I thought I was like too big for my britches. I was like, oh, I'm going to tell you what's up. And the next thing I knew, I was looking up at the sky.
Wow.
Yeah. But
there's been a couple of times when I've been like, somebody's tried to like mug me. There's been a couple of times of that. But I remember one time, it was like a year after I had been like mugged, and I had very willingly given up my wallet because I was too scared. I was very young. But then a year later, I had the coolest Batman wallet, and I was so happy about it, so proud of it. And this person tried to mug me and tried to take my wallet. And I was like, I'll give you whatever money I have, but I'm not giving you this wallet. And the guy was like, no, you're gonna just give me the wallet. You're wasting time. And he obviously didn't have like a gun or anything. Like, I say obviously, but I didn't know that at the time. But I was like, I'm not giving you this wallet. This is a sick ass Batman wallet. Like, there's no way. Like, I don't know who I thought I was, but I thought that he was gonna try and punch me. I don't think that's what he was going to do, but I just reacted instinctively and I punched him. And then I ran. So I don't think that counts as a fist fight really either, but it's the one time that I like punched somebody and dipped. Another time somebody punched me in the stomach on the playground because I said something super dramatic about like how I don't know, I think I just read Romeo and Juliet or something, and I was just like, oh, then like if I can't do this, then I'm just not going to live anymore, not realizing the seriousness of what I was saying. And my friend was so upset with me that she punched me in the stomach and walked away from me. And this friend of mine, I was pretty tall for my age when I was growing up, but she was like 6'2" in the 6th grade. Like, she was a tall girl, and she socked me in the stomach and I fell to the ground, and my other friend came over and went, what was that about? And I was like, I don't know. And I couldn't even breathe. Like, it was so bad. And I didn't want to tell a teacher or anything because I didn't want to get her in trouble because she was my friend. And so I just like grinned and bared it.
Wow.
But thank God, like, nothing, she didn't injure me necessarily. I had a bad bruise on my stomach, but like, oh my gosh. So I've either punched and nobody punched me, or somebody punched me and I didn't do anything. So I guess you can't call those fist fights.
No, those aren't fist fights, but yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's see. Would you mind if your best friend and your ex started dating?
Like hypothetically or real exes?
Like if you could think of an ex that you have that you dated for I guess you could say more than a year.
Yeah.
And they decided to date what you would consider your best friend.
That might take some getting used to. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would be okay with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have to be, but yeah. You?
Absolutely not.
Okay. You're clear.
Not at all. My thing is if the funny thing about it is that my best friend is either member of the church Mallory or a very gay Sam. Those are my two best friends. So if Mallory, for some crazy reason, decided to date somebody that I had dated before, even if it was just like a person that I had slept with, like, I think I would lose it. Not on her necessarily, but just like, I wouldn't be able to believe it. Like, it would be so shocking. And also I would be like, there's a reason that me and that person broke up. And most of the breakups that I've had have not been necessarily cordial. So no, absolutely not. And if any of my exes dated Sam, the only issue I would have with it is that I would assume that they're not good enough for Sam. So that's why I would have an issue. I'd be like, why on earth would you date that person? What's wrong with you?
They're good questions.
Yeah, I think there's only one ex that I have that I am on good terms with, and even then I wouldn't be able to have them date my best friends. No way. Or family, for that matter. Let's see. Have you ever been afraid of the dark?
No. How about you?
I don't think I was afraid of the dark. I remember when I was younger, like when it would be bedtime, because it's always taken me so long to fall asleep, that I would just lay in my bed trying to go to sleep. It's super dark. And I would look around my room, and piles of clothes on the ground would start to look like a monster or like a snake or something. Like, and in my head, I'd be like, there's no way that's a snake. Nuh-uh. And then I would be like, but what if it is? But what if it is? Because then what? What do I do? And so I'd have a couple times where I'd be like, okay, I'm going to get up and go to the bathroom, and I'm going to kick it just to make sure it's not a snake. And I'd kick a pile of laundry and be like, okay, it was just laundry. We're good. And I'd go to the bathroom and come back and go to bed. So it wasn't really darkness so much as like maybe something is in the dark, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, that's different, I suppose.
Yeah. Okay, so if not the dark, then what are you most afraid of?
Definitely, I think that the scariest idea is losing your mind.
Do you mean like just dementia in general, or you mean like
it could be like
Alzheimer's?
Any sort of mind, any faculties, right? Like dementia, Alzheimer's, like hallucinations, like, you know, anything that sort of like is the deterioration of your mind. Yeah. That's a good answer. That definitely scares me the most.
Oh, I think, man, I might have to find that book, because I think I wrote down what scares me the most, and I feel like it was really good, like it was really profound. But I don't really know where that book is right now, because I wrote down the questions on my phone. But like, I know for a really long time, the thing that scared me the most was some variation of losing the people that I care about the most, and not being able to save the people that I care about the most, as if like if there was something that I could do and something prevented me from doing it to help them, to save them, and they were lost. That scared me the most, because it would mean that it was in some way, in my mind, my fault. And that was too much to bear with, not only not having them anymore, but also that it was in some way my fault. That freaked me out. I know for a really long time I had a hard, like an issue with suicide, like the idea of somebody that I care about having suicidal ideation and telling me about it, and me not saying the right thing, and then they're gone. Like I didn't give them the tools that they needed, or reassurance that they might have needed, or gotten them the help that they might have needed. And, you know, because I feel like with stuff like that, it's kind of like a guessing game, because there's certain situations where they'll talk to you about it, maybe, and you say, oh, like, let's talk about that a little bit, and you have a conversation and everything's fine. But there could be situations where it's dire enough that like you need to ask for outside help. You need to take them to the hospital to have them committed, because you're concerned about their safety. And I always worry that I do that for that friend or that person, and they're going to be really upset with me because I blew things out of proportion, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's like finding the right line. So I'm always worried with that, of making the wrong choice, of taking the wrong step. And so I think that's a big reason too why I started working in mental health field and things, so that I could learn about that stuff, literally just for my personal friendships and relationships, to be able to help those people with those things.
I love that. It's powerful that you care about those issues and you think about it that deeply.
Yeah. Thank you. And I am also, like, on a lighter note, I'm very, 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 very scared of birds. All birds.
Okay.
Owls. Freaky. They're so creepy. Bats.
They freak you out, huh? Creepy.
Weird. Ducks. Geese are so mean. Have you ever seen a goose attack somebody?
Absolutely.
That's gruesome. Birds are just mean.
That's gruesome.
I don't think that birds have our best interests at heart, and I think that they conspire against us. I really do believe that. And I think a lot of the birds that are like in the sky, they're not real. Have you seen those?
You're hilarious. Get out of here.
No, I'm serious. Have you seen those?
Yes, and it's
That's like a whole
hilarious.
thing. I
Yes.
think it's funny, but also it feeds into the idea that birds are terrible and horrible and scary.
They're
Um,
so goofy.
uh, anyway, let's see. What's the screen usage on your phone? Do you know how to look that up?
The screen usage?
Do you know how to look that up?
No.
All right, I'm going to teach everybody right here, right now. You go
Okay.
on your phone, you go to settings, and you scroll down, and there's like notifications, sounds, and haptics on like iPhones. And then there's screen time after focus. Click on screen time, and it should tell you your daily average for this past week. So scroll back a week. Let's see all activity. You can go week by week instead of day by day. And you can go, let's see. Yeah, you can scroll back a week.
Wow, this is good to know and terrifying to look at.
I'll tell you mine, which I'm going to make this very clear that I am a person who works from home for this podcast. And I do a lot of podcast things on my phone, which does not mean that a lot of this is not TikTok. But I want to make that clear. When I worked at a place of like an actual place where I wasn't on my phone all the time, it did not say this. So do not compare yourself to me if you work at a job. But last week's average was 5 hours and 54 minutes a day on my phone.
Wow. Okay. Are you vigilant about closing windows when you're done? Because I'm noticing that it's actually counting time for apps that I never use, but that I keep open on my phone.
I think it's supposed to keep up with when your when your phone screen is turned off. That's when it's cut off. So yeah. I'm pretty sure that that's what it is.
But like if you open your phone and you're scrolling on Instagram, but you have other stuff open in other windows, it's counting the hours for that, I think.
You think so?
I don't know. I'm going to start playing with it. I don't think
so.
Okay, well, this is saying on my daily average on my phone is 8 hours.
I would believe that.
But I'm on my computer for more than that. So there's no way I'm on my phone for 8 hours. You know what I mean?
Do you ever leave your phone open on your table when you're doing other things?
Sometimes, but that's what I'm saying.
Absent-minded?
It could be like, yeah, maybe, but my phone automatically locks after 5 minutes.
So like if I look at, I think this is over the week. Yeah.
You've just inspired me. I'm going to close all windows always now.
So if I look at mine for last week, it says that I was on Kindle, the Kindle app, the most, and that was 10 hours and 23 minutes last week. And I 100% believe that because I read 2 books last week on my Kindle. And then TikTok, 8 hours and 38 minutes for the week. I also believe that because I use TikTok as a tool to go to bed. So I'm usually on TikTok for about an hour and a half to 2 hours before I go to sleep. And when I wake up for like 15 to 20 minutes, maybe. Messages. I'm on messages a lot because I've been texting quite a bit between different people. And the next one is YouTube, which is I watch a lot of YouTube too. I use YouTube for like looking up I kind of use YouTube for like my news and stuff. Like I watch people who will like, talk about like highlighted things that have happened in the week and stuff like that. So I use YouTube as like my TV kind of, because I don't really have TV. And I think that these things would be much higher if I didn't have a laptop, because I do spend a lot of time on my laptop doing these sorts of things. So all of this makes sense to me.
It's amazing.
And it says on here too, when you look it up on your phone, it'll say it'll say this is the week average or whatever, and it'll usually tell you it's this amount up or down from your last week. So last week's average for me was 35% down from the week before. Wow. I usually read this and look at it to tell me how depressed I was during a week, because if my phone time is very high, like above, I would say above 6 hours a week, then I was pretty sad and pretty lonely that week. Like this week is at 3 hours and 36 minutes as an average, and it's only Wednesday. So, and TikTok is the most because I haven't read any books on my phone this week. So that makes sense. But I had to ask because I watched this video of there's these 2 drag queens that I watch all the time because they're so funny. They're so funny. And they looked up their like screen time or whatever. And one of them was like, I'm not going to tell a single soul this ever. I'm not going to say it on here. I'm not going to tell anybody else because this is the most embarrassing thing in my life right now. And I have a lot of things in my life that are embarrassing to talk about. And the other person was like, oh, just tell me. Like, I won't say anything. Just tell me. And they were like, no, because then that'll be the end of our friendship if you break that. And it was just so funny. And I thought about it and I was like, is that embarrassing? Like my screen time? Like, I think it makes sense since I don't really have a job or anything. And I do a lot of my writing on my phone. If I think of something to write, like a poem or something, I'll go on my phone. If I don't have my laptop right next to me, I'll watch TV on my phone. Like I do a lot of things on my phone. So
I love the idea that you brought to the table today. And I loved doing this. This was fun.
Yeah. I like how there were like, serious questions, like more thought-provoking kind of questions, and also like silly ones.
Totally.
Yeah.
What's I definitely think you got to start conversations on social media with these questions. They're such good ones.
Yeah, that book has got, I think that was only like maybe 4 pages out of this book of like maybe like 800 pages.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really in depth and in detail. And I remember doing this with Sam. I remember we got them like, I don't know, like 10 years ago or something, and started to fill them out and stuff. And I don't know where that one went, that book that I had before that I filled out with Sam. I have no idea where that one went or where it ended up in my constant moves since 10 years ago. But I went to Barnes & Noble and I saw the book and I was like, I'm going to buy this again and I'm going to fill it out as an adult, like seriously. And I've tried to fill out it as much as I can, but sometimes when it asks like your top 10 favorite celebrities, I'm like, I don't know. Like, who do I like right now is really the question. And I have to really think about it. And that changes so often. Like there's so many things that you learn about celebrities or your heroes that, totally take them apart, take them down for you. And, you learn new things about people you didn't really care about before that are like, oh, wow, she donates to this cause that I really care about. Okay, I see you.
I see you.
So some of the things in there, it changes with time, obviously, but I do like asking these questions about myself, learning more about myself.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I learned a lot about you actually in an hour.
Yeah.
Well, since people are potentially listening to us for the first time, how can they stay engaged?
There's all sorts of ways. We have a website that has kind of like, it's like the landing page for everything that we have going on for us. So if you go to the website, the-mariah-effect.com, we have all the information about every episode. So you can go on there for the show notes page to be able to read, a little bit more in depth about what an episode is about, maybe there's some things that you don't want to listen to. You can always look at those and it'll kind of give you a brief overview of what we're going to talk about. And some quotes that we have from the show too. Or if you listen to the episode and you hear some things that we talk about like certain resources that might be available to you, or movies or TV shows or whatever, there will be links to those sorts of things in the show notes page as well. All of our social media stuff is on there: Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all sorts of things. I post on there as often as I can. There's also a part of it that is a blog. It's What's Up Mariah. And I post on there again as often as I can when I have something to say. And you can read more about, things that are going on with me health-wise there. And also there's a part where you can, type up one of your stories to share with us, and we can talk about it here on the show. Or if you just want to like say a quick hello to me or tell me what maybe the show has meant to you listening, anything like that, you can always put that in there and I'll get that. It also has a link to our Patreon, which if you want to continue listening to us on the show, you could become a Patreon member and help us out with some of the costs of running a podcast and just living. But all of those things will be on the website, and you can find us through there. If you have any questions or anything, you can also put those on there. Please just make sure to like the episode. If you liked it, tell us what you think. You can comment on most of the things that you listen to the website or the podcast on. You can leave comments and stuff, and I would love to see that. So if you have something to say, tell me, please.
Definitely swing by and say hi and say what's on your mind.
Absolutely.
You want to wrap us up?
Yeah, 100%. Today was just kind of like a little bit more of a relaxed, chill episode. If you like this kind of content of us answering questions, like I said, that was only 3 pages of this entire book of things, so I could find more stuff and we could do another episode like this. I just don't know if you like it if you don't tell me, so please let me know, and we will see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye. See you next week.